Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in PVC Podcast land. This is Laying Pipe with the PVC crew. This is episode 24. 24. Is that right? 24.
24.
We still tipping on fofos. Jumping fofos. So we still doing that right now.
Mike Jones. I used to love that song back in the day.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that joint would go super. That would go super bananas, man. And you cannot, when they played that in the club, that was like one of those rare Southern songs when you played in the club that it just like completely got the.
Dude, I never forget. I was riding with my uncle. He had 2004 Monte Carlo.
Yeah,
you know when the Monte Carlos came out?
The Montes,
and when he had it on 24s with the tennis. And we
they're playing that.
Playing that when we was bumping.
Boom, boom, boom. That song. So that song and an ice cream paint job. Cream on the inside, cream
on the outside. Yep.
Ice cream. So when they used to play those were like carbons. Anyway.
Okay, so hold on. So before we get into the intro, I do want to make a comment and shout out.
What? You know I got to intro you in, right?
Don't
just jump in. Just feel like
let me be first.
You acting like people know who you are.
My apologies.
For all the new listeners who's checking in with us, that's my man Paul. Paul, say what's up to the people.
What's up, people? Glad you guys tuning in. Much love and respect.
Now say your piece.
Now I can say your piece. Peace to be heard. But most and foremost, so I do want to give a shout out. So somebody made a comment or something they didn't agree with on the last episode. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I apologize for anything I said, personally, if you took effect on it. Like I said before, it's just words we say and this and that and the other. But I'm a man with integrity, so much love and respect to the person, and I do apologize, and that's what's up.
It was because it's an MLB team.
So we talking about he defected. I told you he's an Angel fan. We already established I'm an Angel fan. Y'all already know what it is. So I'm trying to keep it
But all BS aside on that part, much love and respect to you, and I apologize.
I got something to say about the Angels in a minute, but we'll get to that.
I just wanted to throw that out.
We gonna get there. That's part of maybe part of the topic in a roundabout way. But I'm trying to figure. Oh, I know. That's right. So let me do this first. We got my man Vic in the building, of course. Vic, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be back at it again with my PVC crew brothers here. Episode 24 coming at you. What are we talking about?
We gonna get to all that.
Waiting for now.
I know. We ready to get froggy.
We gotta get it where. Go ahead.
Oh, I forgot. Let me jump in myself. You know who I am. My name is Cam, aka Mr. No Boy Fresh.
Freaky.
Follow me on Instagram and all that good stuff. You know how we do. We gotta back to. Let me go here. So I'm gonna touch on something that Paul said, which is important. So he did go in and apologize, and and I will be the first to tell you, there's gonna be certain things that we're going to address. We're not going to always be 100% perfect on first and foremost. Let's just go ahead and get that off rip and out the gate, out the way.
Impossible.
And other things is there's going to be certain things we're going to agree to disagree on as well. First and foremost, we do appreciate every single one of y'all who take the time to listen, to watch, and to really be engaged with those. And this is why we always tell you, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you could definitely leave them in our comment section. We do read, we do appreciate all the questions, comments, and concerns that's given to all of us first and foremost. And even if we agree to disagree, that'll be one thing. And sometimes we may go into the box. If we're wrong, we're going to tell you straight up, hey, yo, we wrong. And in this instance, that's what Paulie just said, and we'll be man enough to say that we're wrong. I know most podcasters won't go double back and say that. We're a little bit different. We will tell y'all, hey, look, we were wrong on this one. We apologize. And we'll double back. But I just want to make sure we kind of clear that is that certain things, in certain comments, if we don't say that we're wrong, some certain comments we're just going to stand on. We're going to keep it rolling. I'm going to be dead honest with you.
That's true.
So we're going to roll with it. And y'all may just disagree, but don't just tell us you disagree. Tell us why you disagree. So we could get a better understanding, because certain things we're going to be able to learn and grow from each other. That's what we designed this podcast to be. So it's not just us three boys dropping down information. We want to grow as a community of people who's listening to our podcast.
Well, if they don't say why they disagree, then how are you supposed to change our minds?
Exactly.
If all they say, well, your opinion is shit, what is that supposed to tell me?
Well, yeah, that's true. But it was just something, personal that I did like that. So, like I said,
I
bottom from my heart, I do apologize. I just want to, be more man enough,
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that part.
But I just want to address that as squad, as as PVC, just to let y'all know. It's like, hey, look, this is how we are. Yeah, we're gonna have. Like I tell you, we're gonna have silly moments. We're gonna have bold takes. That's what we do. I'm gonna tell you right now. That is definitely what I do. I am a bold take person, and I will stand on everything I say.
Habitual liar.
No, I ain't that.
People don't know, but Cam,
I'm a thug. I'm super thug.
They don't know. Cam's nickname used to be Pretzel. He was twisty.
I'm terrible. God, terrible.
I'm juicy fruit, like Bernie Mac said.
Nah. This right here, ladies and gentlemen of the world, let me introduce you to my sugar plum.
Believe y'all.
But yeah, I just want to get that out.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, we got so much to cover. We gonna try to get through it all in a timely fashion, of course. But we gotta start like we always start. We're gonna throw it over to Vic this time. Vic, you know how we do.
How do we do?
What you playing, man?
Excuse me. I thought you were farting.
Did this dude just say what you playing? We're playing pull my finger.
Because of lady.
I know. If you would have said pull my finger, it would have been over.
Oh my God! Are you okay?
No! The way when you yawn!
I know, because he's gone.
Please, he's sitting right next to me. I wouldn't even get him more. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gotta get brothers again.
I was about to. I gotta let this out. No.
Yeah, you gotta get brothers fair.
You're like, I'm sorry, Paul. I'm about to clog your shower. I'm sorry.
And that's the definition of being baptized in the funk.
So what you been playing, baby?
Oh man, y'all ever heard of the fucking free-to-play game Warface?
Yes.
I've been playing some of that.
Okay.
It's an off and on game. It's pretty fun. It's all right. I'm playing it because it's a great substitute for Call of Duty.
That's a fact.
It's a great substitute for Call of Duty. Because I was getting tired of COD, and I was like, I want to play something similar, so I started playing Warface.
And it's better than Crossfire. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's better than that.
That's trash.
Yeah, that's trash. But
trash.
Warface is straight. I can rock with that.
Warface is fun.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's stupid fun, the best kind.
It needs a little bit more budget, to be honest with you. But if it had budget, I think it would be a really, really.
No, like to give you if it was like on the 360, it'd be considered AAA.
Exactly.
But the problem is that this is no longer the 360 era.
Exactly.
But it's still a really fun game. That's what I've been playing, really.
Okay.
And I also, did I tell you fellas, I saw Jurassic Dominion.
Yeah. You tell it on the previous. You were telling us that we were that you were going to see it. How did you like it?
It was very disappointing because the dinosaurs weren't even the main fucking point. It was about a bunch of fucking bugs, locusts. The dinosaurs could have been replaced with fucking giraffes. The story wouldn't have changed.
See, that's terrible.
And it was like, it's supposed to be a Jurassic Park movie. Dinosaurs are supposed to be front and center.
Right.
One of the big reveals is that they were making dinosaurs more pure, as in, they were looking more scientifically accurate. So, like, you had velociraptors with feathers and whatnot.
Got it.
Wait, say that again.
With feathers. They looked a little fruity.
I'm gonna leave you alone. You about to get us hit.
I'm not even joking. One had
Oh,
fucking
man.
super long nails.
Wow.
No, like they had super fucking long nails. It was actually kind of cool. It had super fucking long nails. And it would walk around like this. It was like,
I believe you alone right now. I believe you alone. I believe you alone right now.
but yeah, no, don't go see this movie. You'd waste your money.
Really?
Yeah, no, dude. Wait for either streaming or DVD or something. Don't see it. It's not a theater movie. There was nothing about it that made it worth going to the theater. I was actually really disappointed.
Wow.
I was disappointed.
That's a bold take for that.
And the whole like drawing point was they had a bunch of the original actors in there, but it didn't feel like they were there.
So let's go back. So let's go back here for a quick second. Did anybody die? Can we go here?
Nobody important.
God, I need somebody to die. I don't need Chris Pratt to die. I need somebody to
No,
die.
see, that would have been funny.
What was the ratings? How much did it make in the box?
It made a buttload
I
of
think
money.
it made like $8 million the first weekend.
Yeah, no, it made some money.
I was watching the stuff they were showing out in Japan.
I think the first weekend they
Wait, what?
cleared.
Yeah, they were showing it out in Japan too. So Japan,
Yeah, I think they cleared 100 million worldwide, at least day one or whatever. I don't know what the take was. I didn't get a chance to see the take on it.
It was just super disappointing. There was barely any dinosaurs. It was about fucking bugs and how they're destroying the environment. So we got to stop the bugs.
So basically, it became more of an environmental movie versus a
Kind of, except you replace locusts with humans. That would be kind of the message it's trying to say.
Got it.
But yeah, no, it was just disappointing. If you haven't seen it, you're not missing much. Either don't or just save your money.
Oh, so I know better. All right, man. Say less.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
That's what you've been playing. That's what you've been watching.
That's what I've been playing. Just been watching.
Okay.
Been playing the games, you know.
This man gonna sleep good.
Take it.
What happened? Only thing I've been playing lately was Black.
Yeah. Black is Black.
I feel like Black is like a version of playing 007, if that makes sense. It's just GoldenEye, yeah.
The OG GoldenEye, yeah.
Well, because I feel
I'm not saying that.
Because
it's better than that, but
yeah. But okay, it's not better than the GoldenEye. But I'm just saying, it just feel like the build up is the same, but it's just different.
You got the rock.
atmospheres.
You got the rock hands up. Go ahead.
Okay, so the game Black, because I know it's EA Play.
Yeah.
So it's on EA Play. It's a very fun FPS. It's very, very dated, obviously, but it's still very fun, and it has... Call of Duty has action, but this game has 80s action, to where the guns are doing way more damage than they would ever do.
It's I agree with you on that.
Cartoonish violence, you know. Yeah. You got this pistol that's just blowing up trucks and shit, and then don't even talk to me when you get the shotgun that blows off doors and whatnot. It's like 80s action fun.
I love that shotgun.
It's fucking amazing.
Yes.
But that's what Black is. It's basically the 80s, but in video games.
But it was intended to be over the top.
Or 90s.
Yeah, it was intended to be over the top.
But I felt like they didn't give that game enough credit to what it needs to be.
No.
It's a good, to me, in my opinion, though.
Well,
I'm not saying
it never got a sequel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I get that. But the reason why it didn't get a sequel, because there's certain games that are made for, like, prototype games, meaning that it's to set the stage for another game. Okay. Like Black. They kind of use the mechanics to try to pop into Call of Duty and like Battlefield and some of those older games that they had the mechanics for. But I agree with you. It is fun. It's like one of those super fun, like the games that they use for prototypes are normally the really, really, really fun games.
Well, okay, so Black, it's owned by EA. Yep. Obviously, EA also owns Battlefield.
That's correct.
So obviously, they were like, well, why make a sequel to Black when we have Battlefield, the more popular FPS series we have? So they probably just started focusing more on that. I wouldn't be surprised if they took resources from Black and just put them into the later Battlefield.
I think they tried to, but what they did, because Battlefield was meant to be so realistic to be the Call of Duty killer, they kind of got away from let's just make it a fun game. And Black is just a pure fun game. It's just fun.
The only thing that I could think of that can even be semi-comparable Black from Battlefield is probably Bad Company 2.
Well, yeah, because that's when they went. That's when they tried to go
loose comparison.
Yeah, because that's when they tried to like loosen up Battlefield. Like, oh, well, let's make it fun, let's make it goofy, let's make it more approachable, entertainable. That as opposed to like, let me try to be the Call of Duty killer. So I agree with you there. Black is one of those games that's very underrated.
Speaking of which, real quick, not to to cut you off. I can't wait till they put 2042 on EA Play. I ain't touching it until it's on there.
I don't know if it's. I don't even know if it's worth the download.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing on Sniper Elite 5.
Sniper Elite, okay.
Now, I liked it this one because this sniper game makes a little bit more sense versus the 4 and everything. Because they give you more killer instinct in this one.
Yeah, Sniper Elite's alright. It's alright. Yeah. It wasn't like my cup of tea, but it was alright.
Y'all ever play Sniper Ghost Warrior?
Ghost Warrior was alright.
I haven't played that one.
Ghost Warrior.
I don't think there's a free version yet. But it's still pretty cheap, like the base game. It's kind of like Sniper Elite except first person.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might like it.
I might have to check that out.
But yeah, you got some good taste right there.
Yeah.
He knows his man.
He's trying to get his gun. He's trying to get his gunplay up. He's trying to get there.
And what I've been watching, I watched Snoop Dogg the comedy thing on Netflix.
Oh yeah. You watched it
that was actually
a comedy
fun.
special.
So it was a comedy special, but he was presenting comics.
Yo, so
he was like an MC, an intro.
So it was his. It was his show. It's kind of so I don't know.
So he was the host.
Yeah, so kind of like the I don't know if y'all seen these before. He does like the Shaq and Cedric, presents like the comedy all stars.
Yeah,
this is like Snoop's version of that. And from what I was told, I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
From what I was told, it was actually pretty good.
It was dope.
I heard the comments got completely down.
Cat Williams did their thing. D Davis and
right, cause that's what they
Guy
do.
Toy and then that one black chick comedian. The old school one, Melody or Miss
Miss Melody, the one with the
yeah, she was funny. Of course, Mike Epps had to be there.
Oh yeah, on the first one, Mike Epps.
He killed it. I couldn't stop laughing at his jokes.
Oh yeah, but those comics, they've been doing it for such a long time. The one thing about it is that we just need a new crop of comics. But I think right now, because of everything that's been playing out with comedy right now. Like the Will Smith thing, people running on stage. I think people are kind of
still talking about that.
I know because I think people are afraid that I can't do and say what I want to say freely without somebody taking some sort of offense.
So they feel like they have to be bottlenecked in a way.
Yeah, because that's what comics are feeling like right now. It's like, well, I can't say this because I'm afraid that some random dude's gonna run up on me like Dave Chappelle, and we're gonna have to like handle him in the back, that type of situation.
They feel like everybody got a different point of view of how they would handle it.
And how they would handle it. Because certain people were like, well, I would handle it like Chris. Other people was like, dude, I would have handled, it like Chappelle did. We would have took him to the back, and we just would have to just do that. Just two, like I said, it's two perspectives to that, to the same conclusion.
Yeah. So that's all I've been playing, and that's all I've been watching. Nothing particular. But I do want to give a shout out to one of my people's. Remember I told you my boy Flair the Steez?
Yeah.
He's actually having a performance this Friday, so I won't be able to make it. So
where?
I just want to out in Hollywood, they doing that versus battle thing.
Oh, so he's gonna be out. He's gonna be out for the versus.
I don't know if he's doing the battle thing, but I know he's gonna be spinning stuff.
Oh, so he's gonna be out there. Is he DJing? What is he doing?
I think he's rapping and stuff like that.
So he's gonna be.
I don't know the full detail of what he's doing, but I just know he's gonna be there.
So first of all,
I think DJ Quig versus.
That's right.
That's out in Hollywood.
That's
so he's gonna be there.
That's right. So he's gonna be out there taking stage.
Yeah. So I just want to give my shout out to my boy.
First of all,
much love and respect
to my boy. First of all,
boy.
to be on that platform.
What's his name?
Fly Hitter Steez.
Fly Steez?
No,
Fly Hitter Steez.
Oh.
Fly Hitter Steez. That's
somebody I grew up with.
So first and foremost.
Oh yeah.
So first and foremost, that's a very, very big stage to be on because anything that's on Versus, even on a bad Versus, they're getting like 200,000 views, like off rip, live.
And his YouTube channel, he getting a lot of views.
Yeah. So to be on that stage, even if you're just an opening act, just to get on there, even if you're decent, I don't care if you're just in the background waving a flag just to be out there, it's saying an awful lot. So props to you. Go out there. Go
shout out to him.
Yeah, go out there. Go do well on Friday. You got your support from us. I forgot. Is DJ Quick and who? I forgot who the other.
And I just saw the post.
I'm gonna tell you right now. It's
gonna be off the chain though. I already know that.
It depends on who it is though, because DJ Quick got some hits. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Him with Sugar Free, they gonna boy.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Man, they got some boys. Him with Sugar Free, they got some joints.
Oh, and music.
And if I love him, if I leave him.
See, now you done played your jam.
That bad. They got some joints. I mean,
So,
between
so on that subject, so Cam, what you been playing, bro?
Yeah, what have you been up to?
So what have I been playing?
Yeah.
Been playing some. This fool. Been playing some Fallout 4 first and foremost. I've been kind of like banging away through that. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play this new game. Well, it's not new. I'm gonna play this new old game.
Real quick. Games with the character creator. Do you just use default, or do you try to make it look like you?
You know what? That's a good question. Now,
Be honest.
so when I did my character creation for MLB 22, the answer to that was yes. But I didn't put my name into it. That makes sense.
The character looked just like him.
It does. So so it has the glasses and all that stuff. So sometimes I will go through the whole process. It really depends on how extensive that character creation model is, as far as like facial and all that stuff. So like in the sports games, they had actually do a really good job of it, so you could do it more accurate to what you look like. Now, in the case of like Fallout, keep in mind, kind of dated, whatever it may be. I don't create the character to be like me as far as like what it looks like, but I will do the attributes. I'll do like my actual attributes, like what I would like personally think my attributes would be, and then I would do literally what would the reverse, like flip them and do the reverse of it. That makes sense. So I'll maybe do two different character types and do the reverse. So like I would say like what's your special setup? So people who play Fallout will actually know exactly what that means. Nice. What is your strength? What is your perception?
I already know Cam.
All right, here we go.
This motherfucker, he gonna have
what's
intelligent maxed out. He gonna have charisma maxed out.
That's a whole fact.
He gonna have strength about half.
That's facts. That is facts.
He's gonna have endurance about half, maybe a little less. Perception's gonna be a 1.
What about speed?
Not speed.
It's not speed, because special is strength. So he said strength will be half. Okay. Perception will be
1.
Probably. Currently it's 2, but you're right.
And your luck will probably be like a 3.
E would be, so endurance will be, I think I have that at half, believe it or not. Charisma is high. Intelligence is high. Agility is half.
I got it.
The facts. Don't
twist
that. And luck. My luck is actually, you know what? You did do it right, and the luck is at a 3.
I'm just thinking. You don't think I'm smart? 2 + 2, 5. What do you think now?
No, it's just like but that would be But yeah. It's funny because but if you think about it, this is why I say that Fallout, that model is like dang near a model of life. If I be honest with you. Because if you really plugged your numbers in for real, like what would you really think like your strength and your perception, if you really thought about it, that's really who you are. That's really your life in a nutshell. You do have, in life, you do need a little bit of luck. You do got to have, you got to have agility when you do certain things. You definitely got to have intelligence. You got to have perception. You got to have endurance. You got to have strength. There's a lot of things like you have, but everybody has variations of that all over the place. Like, your strength may be like 8 or 9. Mine's may be like 4. My intelligence may be 9. Yours may be 7. But that doesn't mean that. But that doesn't mean that it's like better or worse, because there's gonna be a lot of attributes like your luck.
In my blackness?
But your luck may be higher. Your agility may be way higher than mine. It's just there's certain things that are hard.
Hey, just because you said that, people don't look at that direction though, because they'll be like, well, my integrity should be this amount, but how would you know? Because you never performed it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
when he said blackness, because you know how Fallout got traits. That'd be hilarious. Here's your new trait.
Special plus your ethnic plus the ethnic trait. Like, what's your black?
So your trait.
That's so terrible.
It is.
It's so terrible. Go ahead.
I got it. Yo, okay. So your trait, you got blackness, right?
No, but
it's an increase to stealth.
So your blackness includes your gunplay, God, you're
I
terrible.
can see us dreaming that.
Oh, you're so terrible.
You have a negative reputation.
So what happens? What happens with your people from like Mexico? So what's the Latino?
They got
the Machis. I know.
I'll tell you.
You can't say the blackness would not have like one of those.
No, okay. So Mexicans, Mexicans, they have.
Why do we go down this rabbit hole?
That was Victor.
They would have something to do with either endurance or agility.
Oh wow!
Right?
I give you.
But you ain't wrong, bro. Like,
right.
Oh, wow.
Then you got white.
I apologize.
White is gonna be luck.
That's a fact.
And white is gonna be luck and perception.
Dang, you know what?
And then you got Asian. That one I would probably put intelligence and what is it again? Oh, agility. And then what else we got there? We got
intelligence. I'll give you that one. Man. That other part.
What if that happened? So that's a crazy concept. What if they actually factored in the race that you chose into your attribute rating?
Yeah, you see, I'm not just racist.
I can see.
We're gonna strike that part of the conversation out right now.
I can see them. I can see.
But what if that was a built-in? Like if you chose this in your character creation, that you get a minimum, like a negative hit on certain things or a positive hit on another thing. What that would be so.
That
would be great. Because that doesn't mean that won't mean nothing, but it will change people's perspective.
But that doesn't
it'll piss off a lot of people.
It will piss off a lot of people.
because like I said, not all black people fit that mold. Not all.
Well, no. The whole point of it is it's all stereotypes.
I know, but that is stereotypical.
Well, like for instance, you have the Brazilian trait. You do a fucking +10 to melee weapons, right?
This guy.
Or no, maybe that's British.
Don't change the race.
No, I know what he's doing. He was like, but these people see. Oh, that's so terrible.
That was British.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
But that was great though.
I love all races. Just ask the women.
That's a fact. But
I've
been playing. So I've been playing. Fallout. I've been working on that. What else? That's pretty much it. I've been like random watching movies. I done watched this stupid movie called but Premium Rush. I watched that, which is like the little bike ride movie where they be like ride on the streets. I'm trying to watch that.
This man is
lying. I've been watching Jackass.
All he watches is Cars 3 on repeat.
Oh no, we ain't watching.
I've been watching Jackass. Just because they put
which one?
4.5.
Oh yeah, because it's on. Ain't it on Amazon or?
It's on Netflix. Well, the movie's on the Forever one is on Amazon.
Then the other one's on Netflix. Yeah, that's right.
The reason why I like that one because it was a scene where the dad, Dark Shark, was they put in a locker room and they threw the bear in him, and he was like, "Hey man," and the bear bit him in the head.
That's great.
And Johnny Knoxville said, "Hey, Dark Shark, those trees are not real. You can't climb them."
That's funny. I gotta. So let's transition here. So let's go run through some topics. So. I know that you probably know about this. I want to get your take. I haven't had a chance to dive into it. So what's going on with the WWE, man? So we got Vince McMahon having to step down. I heard that they released Sasha Banks off the roster. I heard that Naomi's making an appearance, at another event that's a non-WWE event. So that means that she's probably getting released. Then Stephanie and Triple H is going through something. I need to know.
So the Vince McMahon thing is they said something. As far as I know, they said he did some hush money to hush somebody up or something like that. I don't know if it's true or not. So he had to take a leave of absence. So Stephanie's going to be she's running the show. Basically, yeah, she's running the show. John Leonidas, one of the Tyler's of relations, he got to take a leave, step down for a while because I don't know if he's involved.
So you said Vince threw some money to hush somebody up for what? Like
was he out? I mean, I don't know what the brother did.
I'm like, because the only time you throw a hush money out there is like if you got
something that they got something on you,
like incriminating.
You funnel some money to some people who's connected to some people who's connected to some.
I don't know the full story. That's all.
Y'all think it's mafia?
No,
it's someone.
I think he.
It's a female
harassment.
No, it's beyond that. I think he.
But
blackmail.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I think what happened was I think that. hate going there, but I'm gonna go there. I think behind the scenes that with one of the wrestlers, I don't know who, that he was trying to. He is basically trying to bag on the back end, and I think they keep when it comes to like CEOs, they really keep that stuff super private, super quiet. I think the person who he was messing with wanted something more. Yeah. He kind of said nah, and now she's like, well, if you don't do this, I'm gonna come out and say this. And I think he threw her a bag like, look, here's a couple mil, go have a Coke and a smile. Yeah. Keep it on thing. And she probably said, cool at the time, and then said, nah, I'm gonna do this anyway, and now it's coming back up. I think it's something like that. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. Which leads me to believe that, is this a fallout? Like, is the whole Sasha Banks, Naomi, is all this all kind of connected into one thing?
That subject, I say no. Sasha Banks and them, they had to do with the talent relations, the way the company is running.
Right, but see, the talent relations get caught involved in this too, which means that is it all kind of all in the same bag
that I don't know
like
about.
All these girls kind of rallying up to say, look, we ain't trying to hold.
I don't have a full answer on that one. I just know that, I know it had to do something with talent relations. And again, why Sasha and them are said, because you got to think about it, they the two top females right now. Well, I'm not going to say the two top, but, they just made history. The first two black females who won tag team champions. When you talk about history making, you got, when you talk about top tier, but at least for the women's side of things, you got... Sasha Banks.
You got Sasha Banks, Naomi, Bianca, but then you also got what's her face?
Rhea Ripley,
and
Carmella, and
Carmella's
she getting. I like it.
And then what's her face?
Asuka and Becky Lynch.
And what's her face?
I know who you're talking
about. Girl, I can't think of her name.
Bailey.
Not Bailey. The other one. The one who.
Ronda Rousey,
not Ronda, Charlotte.
Yeah, she recently got married to Andre Andrade from But because the way the company is changing in the WWE is making people less interested, like showing up to work. You got to think about it. You're running the same shit. You trying to do one thing about pro wrestling is like it's not just entertainment. You're telling a story, and if the storyline don't make sense, how you gonna get a reaction to your audience performing? So I think sometimes you get burned down on certain situations because you telling me to do this, but it's not getting a reaction.
Or you don't. I think what it is, to be honest with you, I don't think the WWE, the way it's currently constructed, they don't have the personalities that they used to have. Yeah, and you can't pay enough for that. They just don't have it. I don't think they have a personality.
And it's something that my favorite wrestler, The Undertaker, said. It's like, and I totally agree with him. It's too many baby faces right now.
Well,
but you can't. The only thing I can say, you can't keep going back to say, okay, I'm gonna wait till such and such like John Cena. Nothing against John Cena. I think he's a great wrestler, great actor, this and that. You can't wait for a John Cena to come back to say, okay. Now I got, Raiders is gonna kick in because now we got, one of the top. Sometimes you might need it, but then
you need that because it's the same reason why 3 years ago they needed The Rock to come back to fight John Cena just to make sure that they could kind of, get the deal to get the Fox deal. The reason why they did that because they needed to get that deal with Fox, and so they were like, look, we got to bring The Rock back, pay him whatever he needs. We got to get Cena, pay him whatever he needs.
But right now with the WWE. Only thing is good, in my opinion, that they haven't. Like Roman Reigns, he's doing a hell of a damn job passing the hill and keeping his belt for damn near 2 years.
Well, yeah, because they don't have nobody to really challenge him to be. Because who's a bigger personality than him?
Brock Lesnar.
But they're not going to give it to Brock. I think they're burnt out on. They're burnt out on.
They're not burnt out, but they're going to still use him they're
burnt out on Brock.
If they're going to wait until he goes against The Rock, then it's just like. That's more money in, Roman Reigns' pocket because right now,
and I don't think
your top guys are getting injured right now, like Randy Orton, he's on the sideline,
Yeah, they got
you use Riddle. Riddle's a good worker, a good wrestler, I think they kind of threw him in a foxhole right there. I should have built him up a little bit more.
Well, you got to build him up to figure out what you want to do with
that
him.
part of it.
And I think Riddle's too goofy for me anyway. But I could work with him. But I think he's too goofy. But you need a person like that.
Yeah, you do.
That's what I'm saying. Because like I said, the thing about Riddle, even though I don't like him per se, he has personality. he works.
He has potential.
Yeah, no, because he works because his personality, the whole surfer dude, or goofy, all this stuff.
Bro,
It works.
It works.
It works for. It works for a demographic, and it also works because he's a different personality than all these other dudes.
And then you get a reaction from your audience. No,
right.
When you get a reaction from your audience, that's money.
Exactly.
So trust me, I used to train with pro wrestlers.
Right, and
so
I get it. I just say that they just don't have enough personality because we got to remember we were in the era where every single fighter was a unique personality. Triple H. He was unique. Even when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he was even a different personality then. And then he flipped. And
that's one thing he says. You like game change. Everything every year is different. Everything changes. Every character changes. You gotta build it up.
He evolved that to be I'm bigger than life, so to speak. The Rock was always the voice box, so he didn't really have to do much, but he had so much charisma and personality. He could make that work. Stone Cold was who he was. Even Undertaker, whereas he was like, dude, I am this. Even when Undertaker changed, I'm not gonna be in the whole gothic type look. I'm gonna go be like this biker dude. It changed your character. Then I'm gonna go back. And then I reverted back to give y'all
because like he said, the audience is different. It's a new era. You have to change it.
Right. He said this worked, but people still like this better. So let me finish doing it the old school way because it worked better. But it worked.
Now, flip side of that, AEW.
Because you know why? Because all of them, all the personalities that the WWE kicked off,
they're all
over
working.
there, and
everybody's
all over there. And real quick, let's Jeff Hardy.
No, I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to talk about that. Let's not bring this up. I'm upset with that, and I'm gonna end up saying something. I don't even want to get into it.
You can say what you're gonna say.
I'm gonna say what I say, but it's just like it breaks my heart because it's like, and I come from because I used to train in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I got you.
If you're one of the top guys like that, and you bust your ass to get that opportunity that you finally got it. Now you're shitting in the way because you just recently had this little falling out with WWE, which everybody kept it quiet. They already knew the subject, but you made your exit out. Now you're in a different area, and you messing it up. And what I love about Tony Khan is that I'm spending you no pay. Get your shit together. That's basically what he told him.
Right, because you want to know why? Because again, you're messing up the bags.
Yeah.
God,
I'm bringing you into something good. You gonna make this money, and you gonna do this stuff. And you working with everybody.
You messed up the WWE bag, which you could have been the face at this point in time. Because there's really no, you could have came back in. You could have fought Roman Reigns to at least make it a interesting. They're making an interesting conversation. This is before they brought Cody Rhodes back, and if Cody Rhodes wasn't hurt, he's the one next in line now. But it would have been Jeff Hardy. Yeah. But he messed up. And you could have got your brother back. Y'all could have kind of did this whole little thing for a little bit.
He was already done.
No, he was done. But I think he would have came back just for a little bit of time. Yeah. Not to be like a regular. Just to came like appearance here and appearance there. Just kind of like, I'm going to be by my brother's side just to be in support. Because they're going to let him rock.
But see, what upset me, his brother... My brother AEW. It's working. You got everybody. That ladder match would have been great. Them two, Jungle Boy and Young Boy. I was excited, and then when I get the news, this happened.
I know because
I'm like, you know what? I'm still, don't get me wrong. You still a great wrestler. I got much love and respect, and I appreciate everything you've done for the industry. But to let something like this, and then too, you got kids.
It's not even that, and the way that they put this dude. They put that dude down hard. They put the blickies on.
And that's the thing that's bothering me. Because they showing us every day on YouTube what he did, and then now you mess up the whole. So now AEW might have a different perspective about you. That's one thing I do. I gotta give my respect to Tony Khan. I'm spending you without paying. Get your shit together. Basically, that's what
you have to.
Because in this era and when it's line work, if you're gonna be one of the top guys, you gotta fit it with everything. And now you messing something up. Now, you're going to pay the consequences.
But more importantly, you got to put yourself in a position to be that dude. You cannot be up there acting a fool.
Yeah.
And this is not just...
don't get me wrong. We all do some crazy stuff.
But this is not just in wrestling. This is the same thing that happened with actors. There's a reason why Will Smith is sitting on the shelf right now.
Yeah.
Because when you put yourself in a bad position, you don't just mess it up for you. You're messing up for a lot of people that's around you in your camp. And that's what's happening with him right now.
And now, you just messed up a good money chance this Sunday for Forbidden Door with New Japan.
Yep.
It's finna be off the chain. I can't wait to see this pay-per-view.
Yep.
Everybody working. They got all the great wrestlers, all the great talent, great matches. He would have fit perfectly in that storyline.
But like I said, that's...
And you know, and I get it. That's a part of being, not even being famous. Famous, we all have done it.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Who you telling?
Shit.
But
just ask the great.
now, only thing I'm like the Sasha Patience, she'll fit right in with AEW. Me personally,
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. I don't know what.
We'll see.
I know, you know,
Because
her and her lawyers trying to
because the women's that's a pretty that's a pretty decent locker room
between AEW and Impact Wrestling. They got a great locker room full of females. So
yeah, I mean,
I would put Sasha Banks against Britt Baker any day. That would be.
But that's what I'm saying. I know they're in talks.
I would bring Sasha Banks
because she goes to AEW. She's gonna
Thunder Rose. That would be.
They're gonna flip that. She's gonna flip that division upside down.
Only thing I'll be afraid of her. It's a different era now. These girls are hardcore over here. Especially Britt Baker. They slam and tack. So if you gotta fit in the era. This ain't the
No. But I think she'll be fine.
But she'll do good.
But she's so much of a personality that it kind of fits their mold really well.
Hell, I would love to see Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte won't move. She won't move.
If she does, she'll kill them all.
Yeah, but she won't move because she's so
I would put her and Britt Baker at the top of the list of that card, and it was sell out. Just not even just the match. It's just the two names.
Just the names would do that because you're talking about one of the most decorated female champs in the WWE to come over to be the most decorated champs in the
DMD baby.
Yeah. To put their heads up with
She's
each
a
other.
great wrestler.
That'd be like crazy. It'll be crazy. I mean, there's a handful of matchups that you be like, you kind of would want to see that.
Yeah.
But that's why people will kind of been clamoring for the.
I'm sorry, Vic. You know, because when it's about wrestling, that's my thing. That's my story.
It's kind of one of those things like when people are clamoring about, well, should Roman fight The Rock? Should The Rock come back just to fight bro, just to make it a.
I would love to see that just
on GP.
It's The Rock because
just to see it on GP.
He might get inducted in the Hall of Fame next year, and then WrestleMania, which I'm going because it's going to be Inglewood.
Yeah. I'm 99.9% sure he's getting inducted next year, strictly on the fact that it's in LA.
Yeah, and The Rock could be one of the persons.
I know he'll be there because Cena's not in yet either, so one of them is going.
But Cena, it was his 20-year anniversary.
Right, but I'm saying one of them.
But The Rock, going.
He definitely one of them's going, so it doesn't matter which one.
I don't care what they say.
No, he's going to the Hall of Fame. It's not a question. It's just a matter of, are you doing it this year or are you going to do it like a couple of years from now?
And we'll be a good fit. You in LA.
Oh yeah, that's what I said.
And he just did that thing for the stadium.
Yeah, he should get inducted there. But the way the WWE is going right now, you don't know what's going to happen.
But I'm kind of curious. I want to see how Stephanie runs the show. Because Stephanie always does.
Oh no, Stephanie's been fine.
She's gonna do good.
She just needs to kind of just stay in the background a little bit.
But I'm curious that because now Stephanie's taking command, where Paul Heyman stands in this situation.
Well, because
I know
they don't like each other, and I know Triple H is not really cool with Paul Heyman either like that. So,
but you can't take away Paul Heyman right now because Paul Heyman drawing money.
No. Paul Heyman's doing his thing. I just know that I know that they find weird ways to clip people. And Stephanie McMahon has been a person to clip people like that. But sorry, I didn't mean to go I didn't mean to go super heavy, but I wanted to at least touch on that because the Jeff Hardy thing and the Vince McMahon, a lot of that stuff that's happening in wrestling. It's been like a pretty hot button topic. That's great. Talk to me.
No, it was great. Good job.
Thank you.
So secondary topic says we got to talk about this too. Something a little short and quick, but we got to talk about it. So
which is
yesterday.
What?
California, you know how our weather is. We the ones who always say it never rains in California. The one time it rains was like yesterday. It didn't even rain that hard. So
it was the kind of rain where it dirties your car, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like took a leak on a car and kept moving. But
it was drizzle.
It was raining. It was thunder. It was lightning. You know what it felt like? It felt like when I was in Texas. I'll tell y'all the story in a minute, but I'm gonna lead into it with this. y'all hear about old lady who got struck by lightning?
Oh yeah, right? Yeah.
I thought that was BS, but
that's a fact.
That was a real story.
That's a fact.
No, I was reading about that. Fucking struck by lightning, instantly killed both her and her dog.
Yeah.
And the dogs got killed?
Yeah. She was walking the dog.
I didn't know the dogs got killed. I thought it was just her.
No. Pause. We talking about a lady's death, and you worried about the dogs. You just like you so bougie. You so bougie right now.
No, because when I heard the storyline, they said she was
nothing against my animal lovers and stuff. This is that disrespect, but you can't down your person like above a dog.
He was like, what? That's right, the dog. No,
the dog. Look, he was almost broke. He was more broken up about the dog. No, the dogs like
no. Let me clarify because
he loves dogs.
When I read the storyline, I know she was walking her dogs, but they said she got struck. I didn't know the dogs got struck.
Yeah,
she was holding.
Do you understand how super random that has to be?
But
it was just one of those. When it's your time, it's your time.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that is. But like I said, that's a sign of God right there. Cause
of course,
that's
when the Lord says, just like what Vic said, when the Lord says it is your time, it is your time, and it doesn't matter. She didn't know what was going to happen. She probably was just out there walking her dogs. Oh, it's lightning and stuff. Well, and I was driving over towards. It was the weirdest thing. I was driving over towards Whittier as is anyway during that time. So I wasn't really that far away at the time when that popped off and happened.
But the funny thing was, I was just coming home and I was doing my laundry, and all I heard, all of a boom. I'm thinking one of my neighbors. But then one of my neighbors, like, how the hell is it raining out here in the damn summertime?
Yeah, that's
when it boom. So I'm like, this is
straight Texas weather.
I was outside 5 o'clock. You know how we go outside, and I'm towards the far end of the parking lot. Felipe's with me. We were so fucking close to a bolt of lightning, and this wasn't that thin lightning. No, this shit was fucking thick.
I know.
It was terrifying because it was daytime for a second. That's how bright this shit was.
I know,
right?
And
the craziest shit is we saw it touch ground.
Yep.
We saw it touch ground. I wasn't panicked. I was like, this is amazing. And Felipe's like, oh, you worried about getting struck by lightning? Like, why? I haven't pissed off anyone yet.
Look, man, I'll tell you, I think I told y'all my Texas story. So when I was in Texas, same weather pattern happened, just like it was out here. Sunny, daytime, all of a sudden you see a cloud, a little cloud in the sky. And everybody who lives out in Texas was like, oh, it's going to rain for a little bit, it's going to pass away. And I was like, all right, fine. So we were on, me and my boy, shout out to my boy Lino, we was on stage with my group Cross Culture. We were in Abilene, Texas. And we were just finishing up getting off stage and whatnot. And we were, at the church, and we were literally walking across the street from the church to go to the car so we get ready to go get some food or whatnot. That weather pattern came in, so you heard it. Rumble, 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 rumble. No rain. Didn't even rain. You heard a bang, a little bit of lightning, right? It's like, all right, bet it's way over in the distance. No less than 10 minutes later, it starts raining, all that stuff, and the rain stops, but you're still thunder, still lightning, crazy. I'm from here, y'all about 2 feet away. All we heard was, bang! Super loud. It sounded like gunshots. And when lightning hits, it crackles. So it's like, bang! Bop, 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 bop. We, being from LA in the hood, right? We're thinking it's gunshots, right? So we exactly. So we're in the middle of the street. We're in the middle of the street, and I'm booking, and I died behind the car, hit the deck, I'm on the ground. My boy Leo hit the ground next to me. His cousins was there, and they up there laughing. It's like, what are y'all doing? And we're like, you hear that?
Wow.
They shoot right. I was like, no! They shoot!
I can see him jumping over the car.
So scared, swimming on the ground.
Oh God! I'm hitting the deck. I'm like, oh God! I'm hitting the deck. We behind this car. I'm peeking out. I'm
expression when he said, "I heard that." I did it.
I was gone.
He was
because you know when you ain't we ain't even in town. You know, because we was like in our own neighborhood. We were like just a phone call away. We calling some dudes, whatever. You know, we ain't pieced up. We ain't nowhere. No, I'm like. I thought I was gonna die. I was scared.
That's how loud it was.
He laughed. I hit.
I was scared for my life, and I'm thinking like, oh, it's over.
He had a cat.
But all it was,
in the cold 42.
All it was is like, and then they go turn around. Then his cousin did turn around. You afraid of some lightning? I'm like, shut up. Oh, I was so.
But you know, man, my chest.
I know, but I had to say that because I had to tell y'all that story.
The funny thing about the whole thing with the rain and the thunder, though, like I said, that's just a sign of God.
Of course it is, and that's so. When I thought about that situation, I thought about what I went through
because
and on all the antics I went through. Dang, I almost died. And I was like, dude, you know how close I was from actually getting hit by some lightning for real, and somebody. So happens to get hit is crazy.
Because I always believe you never expect until the expect happens.
Yeah, you never.
Because like I said in the Bible, Jesus is coming back. We never knew. We don't know.
Of course.
I swear to God, I thought yesterday. I thought that was the day.
No, we didn't know because I'm telling you right now, we don't know the day. We don't know the
like
time.
I said,
we don't know the scenario, the
situation.
situation. We could be sitting here right now, and the Lord says it's over.
It is literally
over.
Yeah.
In the Bible that it said, "No man shall predict my return."
Exactly, and that's why I wouldn't. This is why when people be like, "Well, the Lord's supposed to be coming on, 2025, and this, because it said in the little." We don't know.
We don't know.
And when the Lord says it's your time, it is your time. And it's just the unfortunate truth, but you got to understand that.
But my thing is this gonna happen again though?
It's gonna happen.
Well, okay.
I didn't watch the weather report.
Here's the thing about, like I said, when people predict the weather, we ain't God. Let's start there. When God says we're gonna have thunder, we got thunder and lightning. It's still gonna be 90 degrees. Guess what? We're gonna have thunder and lightning. It's gonna be 90 degrees.
Raining in the summertime. That's a song.
It's not. It's weather prediction. That's all it is. It's prediction. And
I'm gonna make that. Raining in the summertime.
It's just. Climate change is
raining
real.
That's a
shit's just getting crazy now.
Right.
Because I'm thinking
California's becoming more like Texas. We're getting drier every year.
Yep.
It's getting hotter every year.
That's a fact.
You motherfuckers know since the past 2 days it's been hot as a motherfucker out there.
Right.
And then now we're getting weather like Texas.
Exactly.
We're essentially becoming a second Texas without all the perks.
Exactly.
And the other thing I was just thinking of, well, maybe this is God cleaning up the pandemic. I'm sure, shine bright like a.
I just say shine bright like a
diamond. What does that mean? I'm sorry. That wasn't a word I was trying to use. But you know what I mean, Cam. But like I said, that. Like you said, we don't know what's gonna happen.
We don't know, and that's the whole thing. It
can rain right now, and it's hot, like you said.
Like I said, it's
a snow.
It's 85 right now. It's about 11 o'clock. It's about 85 right now. Trust me. And we can have the same weather pattern coming. The Lord says, I'm gonna throw some clouds, throw some thunder. It's to prove to y'all that I'm real. I'm gonna do exactly that.
Oh, you know how it is. God looks over to Jesus, hit the switch, remind the monkeys.
And I know a lot of people's like they're panicking, like shit.
No, because it's for us in California, we tend to be unaware that weather.
I heard there was a big accident on
There's all kinds of stuff happening, man.
When that story with Pico, really, I was like, wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. I just always think about when something like that happens, like that easily could have been me.
That's just anything. It's always that situation of where everyone always thinks it's not going to happen to me.
Yep.
Whether it's the lotto or getting killed.
Right.
It's not going to happen to me.
Right.
Until it does.
Exactly. Because and the lotto's a good opposite way of looking at it. People are like, well, I don't think I'm gonna win. I'm still throw $1 in there. I don't think I'm gonna win. And all of a sudden they hit the jackpot. You just never know. You never know. Because when the Lord decides He wants to bless you, guess what? That's the same exact conversation piece.
And that's why
it could go both ways.
A good song for those who kind of want to understand what we're talking about a little bit more. You guys. Ken, you must have heard of Marty Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marty Robbins, he has a song called The Master. Wonderful song. I do recommend anyone listening right now to pause this video and go check out that song. It's on YouTube. It's
I'm gonna
Marty.
check this out.
Yeah, maybe I'll.
It's Marty Robbins, The Master.
Yep.
And it's a wonderful song.
Yep,
I
yep.
believe everyone should hear it. It has a terrific message. But the most important line in that song, at least to me, is when he says that. He says, what does he say? Life is the master's to give or take. You know, just how we just saw life was taken by lightning of all things. It was his call. Exactly. We don't know why, and we may never know. But the master has his reasons.
Exactly. Because we're just living in a day and age where you never know. I know on social media you see all when the celebs post away and they die, and there's been people passing away just like every week. You hear somebody passing away every week. But we get a situation close to home, and it's like, well, so close to home, it could have been one of us. Yeah. It could be any one of us at any point in time. We leave here, anything can happen. I don't wish it upon anybody. You just got to be mindful that, look, make sure you're living your life to the fullest, first and foremost.
That's true. Doing
what you can to be the best that you can, because you never know when it's your time to transition and go to heaven or hell, depending on the situation.
You know, every day is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Mm-hmm. As cheesy as that sounds.
Exactly. It's a present because it's the gift for you to sit here and do this. That's why I said we consider it a privilege and honor just to have the time to actually put this out for y'all.
This could actually just, I could literally go on about this for hours. But,
I know. I know.
Like, okay, so hell. Everyone has most people have the Christian representation of hell in their head, of a fiery pit with nothing but fire and you burn for all eternity. Right. While other religions' versions of hell may be different. Some people believe in Dante's Inferno.
Right.
Some people believe hell to be actually frozen over and it's a icy burn.
Right.
You know? People view hell differently, whether it's religion or personal belief. Some people don't believe in afterlife after all. At all. You know, and I always found that interesting. I may derail a little bit here, but
go ahead.
It's just such a fascinating thing to me because I'm going to say there is hell. Hell is real. That's a fact.
That's the whole fact. And then people don't understand that, and I don't know what to tell you.
But then there's the question. There are some who believe hell is a physical place that you don't have to die. We can go there right now. You know, because I'm sure you've heard of stories of they drill so deep for oil that they drilled right into hell. And I remember there was a story, this was like back in the mid-2000s, where I think this was in Europe. They were drilling for something, right? They drilled so deep that the equipment malfunctioned, right? And they stuck a microphone down there, right? And the microphone picked up some recordings before it melted, and it sounded like screams of the damned, you know? So that was pretty crazy. But whether that was happened or not, whether that's the case or not, I do believe hell is absolutely real.
Of course.
But obviously, if there's a hell, there's a heaven.
Has to be.
You know, I mean, if there's light, there's darkness.
Yep.
You know, I do believe in the afterlife, but I do believe it's far more complicated than any of us could ever comprehend. Because let's face it, there are billions and billions of people on this planet.
Yep.
Right? We all have our own personal beliefs. Granted, there are religions more popular than others, aka Christianity, which is obviously more popular, or at least more practiced than most other religions. But then you got, stuff like Mormons, you got Buddhists, you got people who believe in reincarnation. And there has even been what some would say, like, proof of reincarnation. Well, granted, I think that's a bit of a stretch, but, okay, so if there's reincarnation, that doesn't mean you either go to heaven or hell, you're back.
Right.
Some people believe you keep reliving your life until you get it right. So that means you don't necessarily go to hell, you just keep coming back until you live your life right enough to go to heaven.
Right.
Maybe hell is reserved for truly those who are just truly evil. We don't know. And that's just one of the things that just fascinates me about the afterlife.
Yeah, I just don't think we just know enough. I just think that we don't know enough, and we're not going to know enough.
Well,
because there's no way for us to really prove or disprove until we actually are experiencing it for ourselves.
So, sorry to cut you off. It's just, okay, so some people believe, we all know this one word, magic, right? You either see it in video games, movies, or whatever, magic, right? I'm not going to go saying magic is real. That's not what I'm saying. But I do believe that there are supernatural influences, both what you call blessing or curse. I do believe those are real to a degree. Now, real quick, all magic is black magic. Magic was never meant for humanity. We're not supposed to interact with it. We are made in the physical world, right? Because all magic is evil.
I'm sorry. Well, you said all that. But go ahead.
No, but in a sense, all magic is evil. Essentially, magic is a false path, right? I know I'm sounding a little crazy.
No. You don't know.
This is just something I've just always. I have a lot of time to think, and this is what I always find myself thinking about. You know, because fucking overnight work is boring. But
That's the truth.
But it's just there's so many questions when it comes to it, and like I really believe no human for the entirety of our existence until we go extinct, we're never gonna know what it is only the individual can experience it. You know.
And that's what I just said. It's like, I don't think we really know, and I think our mind capacity is not really designed to know.
You know, I mean,
I'd say
give or take, because people won't take the time to actually listen to it. That's one of the problems. I mean, yeah, there's a such thing as heaven and hell. I mean, I believe in both. Sometimes I believe, it's hell trying to make its way to heaven. So sometimes, like for example, we living on Earth right now. As you know, we live in a hell certain days.
Some people, that is the belief that right now existence is currently punishment.
Because
the way the world is.
Right, and certain people think that, well, the earth is hell, and then when we die, we go to heaven, if that's the case.
So there are some that believe that hell, so essentially the order is the earth is on the bottom, hell is on top of the earth, and heaven is on top of hell. That there is some belief in that. I'm not a personal believer of that. It's just, there's one of these things that gets me is that, I'm sure some of you guys have heard this, especially way back when, that scientific progression and religion are always at butting heads.
Of course.
It's like, well,
of course, always has been.
Science is like, well, science disproves religion. Therefore, science is a tool of the devil to dissuade believers, right? And like false, religion stunts humanity. Science is the way forward for our race. Granted, I personally believe that both can coincide with one another.
That's why both exist.
Both do exist. Some people are always like, well, such bad things happen. Why does God let it happen? Well, individuals who are born that come up with solutions. I mean, look at the cure for polio.
Well, I would say that things happen because it happens for a reason, with a reason. And I know certain times in a bad situation, there's a lot of good that comes out of a bad situation. Yeah. I've always been a big proponent of that because just because it's bad, and maybe it directly affects you, or maybe indirectly affects you.
And another thing is, every single one of us is curious. We're curious about things, whether it's more petty stuff like you want to butt in on someone else's business, or it's more serious stuff that you're curious what happens if you mix these two elements.
Yep.
Curiosity is built into us. Right,
yeah.
And if you believe in God, that means to an extent you believe He created humanity. Whether you believe it was through Adam and Eve or we just naturally evolved, which I do believe in the evolution theory, but I do believe God created the very. God planted the seed. We are the sprouting flower.
That is correct.
That's more what I believe. But we're naturally curious, right? We're naturally curious, so that means we want to reach out and find stuff.
Yep.
We want to experience stuff. And if we weren't supposed to do this, then why are we curious all the time? Obviously, personally to me, this is going to sound like crazy, but I believe the solar system that we're living in currently it's essentially the humanity's playbox. It's meant for us. There's no other life in this system. It's just the humans, And there have been, obviously we shoot probes out in space. We scan planets, we scan nearby systems. Right now, currently, humanity has a resource problem. We're short on resources, right? I mean, it's getting bad. But from what we could tell, the resources in this solar system alone, our solar system, is in such abundance that it would technically last us till we go extinct. So, I mean, come on, you can't help but think, there's no way there's no other race here. It's just humanity. It seemed like it was planted. You know, now if you believe it was aliens, that's something else. But
No, because on that, because everybody has an opinion on different things. Because who knows? Maybe,
I don't even know how it went this way.
I mean, no.
We're fine right now.
Great, because I always believe something strange can walk down the street right now, and we wouldn't even know it. You know, I believe in the supernatural.
oh yeah,
I think we would. I think the answer is I think we would know it.
Yeah, we
We would know it.
Yeah.
And the one thing that Vic touched upon that
And not
like
to cut you off, Karen, you said that perfectly in that speech, though, brother. I just want to give you a shout out on that because you touched something on me when that last topic right there too.
Yeah, because when you talk about how we are as a people, we're not just a curious people. We are a learning species, meaning that the reason why we are so attached to our phones because we want to learn something at all times.
But the problem is what we're learning now is essentially the equivalent to empty calories.
Of course, I'm not saying that I'm not saying
No,
that
I'm agreeing with. I'm just.
Yeah, it's
I just wanted to
what
throw that out there.
Yeah, what we're feeding into each other is probably not the best of things that we should be, but we are constantly trying to learn, to evolve, to be better because that's what we are designed to be. We are designed to absorb information and then utilize it and regurgitate it out. For lack of a better
I
term.
am a extremely firm believer that God wants humanity to succeed, and I believe that success lies within the stars above us. Once we start reaching out, we leave this cradle of our planet. Obviously, I hate to say it, but none of us will ever live to see it. It's too far into the future, but maybe our grandchildren's children will, But once we start reaching out into the stars, I think we'll realize the much bigger picture of reality, and that is how small the entirety of the Earth's problems are compared to the solar system and the entirety of the galaxy.
Yeah.
It's just my head hurts when I think about it sometimes because it's such a big thing to when you really start thinking about how small the Earth is compared to everything around us.
Right. And I agree with that. And that transitions us to what we'll talk about for a little bit here. Because when you say that, you say things about resources. And one of the things is when you talk about like the Earth and the Earth resources is that goes into like, the money, the economy, gas, things like that. Like,
don't get me started.
I'm just saying just things like that because really what you're talking about is resource and resource management. And part of it is that.
So a lot of this the reason we're all suffering right now, it stems from one of the worst things any human can feel, that is greed. We are all suffering because of the greed of a few people. About less than 100 people, and their greed is what's going to kill us all, essentially. That's why gas is so high, because they don't want us to be more self-reliant, aka the government. I'm not a huge supporter of the government. How can I? Let's face it, the government hates every single one of us. Obviously, it just wants a workforce, not a people. And that's why things are so harsh. That's why baby formula is getting so hard to find. That's why gas prices are so high. But hey, they went down 4 cents, and it's supposed to get better. I don't believe that for a minute.
I think part of it is, and you're not completely off base when I say it's a control mechanism. I'm not saying that because
I'm not trying to sound off the wall here. I'm a little tired, but this is just what's popping into my mind.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I have no problem with that. But what I see is that when it comes to resource and resource management, when people are like, well, why are the gas prices so high? Because from a money point of view, we've been making a buttload of money for the last 7-8 years minimum, probably more than that. If you really think about it, I always say, if you look at the stocks, and if you saw the stocks from like 6-7 years ago, stocks never cleared 10,000 on the Dow. We were never at 10,000. We always got close. We got like 9,000, 950. We never got to 10,000. Our stocks in the last 8 years went from 10,000 to 30,000. Actually, it was up to like 37,000. That's through the roof. So when people started realizing that there has to be a cap somewhere down the line, because there's always a cap to everything, and it's going to have to come back down to a realistic number.
But how? I mean,
Cryptocurrencies.
No, it's not just crypto. It's just everything has a ceiling. I mean, you got to understand, every business, when it comes to money, when it comes to growth, you get to a point where there's going to be a ceiling of here is going to be your earning potential until it starts to come down. And a lot of these companies were kind of just riding the waves of these stocks. Crypto was doing well. A lot of things were doing well. That's why the government started to when crypto started going in on the black market, they were started doing well. You know what the government said? Oh, we need to get our feet in there. You want to know why? Because they're throwing money on the sidelines and not throwing it directly towards us, so we can't control it. We need to get our hands in there and start to control it. That's why crypto's not doing as strong, because the government said we need a piece of that action.
Well, you know how it is. If there's money to be made, government's not far behind.
Yeah, they needed a piece of the action. But what happened was, and you could think a lot of good things happened in the 2010 leading to the 2020 era. Part of it was you had good people at the top who was pretty solid with money. You had Obama, you had Trump. One of the common denominators in that was they were extremely good in how they handled the government's money. And people were really trusting and throwing monies into a lot of companies. Elon Musk, a lot of these people who run these major corporations, they really trusted them to do a lot of good things. But with everything, it has a cap. Our gas situation, there's a cap to it. Why do you think they want to kind of press and go back into Afghanistan and stuff? Because they have the resources over there. Don't get it wrong. We just don't have them over here.
Yeah.
Because we push through our resources faster than what they do.
But
so they have it. So instead of trying to negotiate, we have a cap. And this is the reason why they're trying to change what we are. This is the reason why California will be the first one to go into electric cars. And the reason why, because they want to try to eliminate, at least from our side, can we take away the reliance of having to go to another country, go to war, go fight for something that's not technically ours, it's not on our soil, or because obviously we don't have enough money to negotiate for it. Yeah. I mean, if a company, if Apple or somebody said, yo, we talk with the Russian government, can we get some oil, we'll pay you some bread, we'll negotiate some stuff, they could probably do it. They're not going to, but they could. They have enough bread to do it.
But my question is, and it goes on when you're saying about the economy. It's not just gas; it's everything.
No, because again,
food, groceries.
That's a hybridization of
because this is a way of. Here's the logic. I'm gonna get your answer, but I'm gonna go there this way first. When I tell you that things are capping and things are coming back down to reality, because a lot of people who are making money are trying to sell off and trying to reinvest. So they're selling off at a very quick rate. So if you've been paying attention to the stocks were at 37,000. They're coming back down. In business terms, we call that a market correction. Mm-hmm. But it's been correcting so much that they think that we're in a recession. We are in a recession in comparison to where we were, but this is just a big market correction, because we were never really designed. Our government was never really designed to be above 10 to 15,000 in our Dow. It's just like in China when they have the Chinese market or the Japanese market, their selling market. They're designed to be at a certain threshold. They can't get that high and have all these people making all this money, and then they have no way to kind of control or reinvest. Because when you have so many people with that type of money, there's too many things that the government can't control. So here's how you control it. Go ahead before I go.
Okay, so obviously the year is currently 2022.
Yep.
Some people are comparing because technically we are in the 20s again. Some people are comparing the 1920s or the Great Depression to our modern 20s. Granted, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's far from good. Trust me, it's far from good. But I'm not going to go out there and say that we're going through a Great Depression. It's more like a big sad.
Yeah, it's not a Great Depression. People aren't.
Granted,
we have a homeless problem, but if we were going through a Great Depression, like they were going through a Great Depression, 2/3 of the people would be on the streets.
Well, and on top of that, the homeless problem isn't. Some people say, well, it's not affordable housing. No, most of the homeless people I see, they're not looking to get into a house, man. They're too busy getting high or drunk and living on the street.
Right, but what I'm saying is that it's
a homeless problem is
it would be a lot of regular people on the street if we were going through a real depression. Meaning that there'd be a lot less businesses open if we were going through a real depression. I'm not talking about your Targets, Walmarts, Apple's, them. I'm talking about your mom and pops. I'm talking about your mom and pop restaurant that you go to. When we were going through the COVID situation, that was probably the closest thing to a depression that you probably could have gotten. Okay. And that one was actually a controlled thing. Because they really, when it came down to it, in hindsight, did we really need to shut everything down? They shut everything down because they didn't really know what they were doing. Okay, we'll call it that. Okay. But once they figured that out, that we could still kind of be open and still kind of do this, they still chose to shut everything down for a longer period of time where they really didn't have to. That was a government control thing. And I'm not going to go through all these little conspiracy theories, but we already know what was happening. Yeah. So now that you have this, and now that you're kind of away from COVID, and we're kind of like understanding that people are much aware, people wasn't jumping on to get the shots like all crazy. Certain people did, certain people didn't. That is your choice. I'm not here to try to knock or discredit your choice. You do what you have to do for your body. That is your choice.
Jab, no jab, your life.
Right. It is your life. It is your decision that you have to make. But what they were trying to do is control the people that way. And what they came to realize that you couldn't control the working class by that, because a lot of the companies were like, we're not going to force them. Yeah. We're not forcing them. Because they could have. I mean, they could have put, like, every major company could have went in and said, it is mandatory for you to have the shot, for you to do this, for you to have a job. And they were going, and that was the conversation piece for a long period of time. And then a lot of the major players said, we ain't doing that. We're not putting that much pressure. You know what it took? It took 4 companies to kind of say nah. One of which was old boy from Amazon, and the other one of which is our peoples from Walmart. And a couple other companies said we ain't doing that.
They know they would be able to replace the workers.
But if they would have said that, and believe me, they put a buttload of pressure. They threw a bag at them to do this. By the way, they threw them an enormous amount of bag to say, put pressure on them to do this, so we could do that, because they know that the workforces in those type of companies alone would have been suffice enough to say, like, yeah, then if they did it, everybody else would have fell suit. Like if Walmart, Target, Amazon, if they would have said it's mandatory for you to have the shots, guess what would happen? Every other company follows suit because they have to. Because you only follow who's at the top, which goes back to your original talking, like, the top 100. But when your top 100s are like not siding with the government, sort of speak, you got a lot of rebels. This is the reason why when people say about Elon Musk, like, yeah, he's crazy, he goes against the grain purposely. Because he's not a government dude. He's one of those antis, but he got so much money that you really can't tell him nothing. The government can't really tell him nothing. They can try to put the brakes on him and do certain things. Well, you can't go over here, but who's going to turn down his type of money? Yeah, that's true. Nobody. Yeah. Who's turning down Amazon money? Who's turning down Walmart money? Nobody. They ain't turning down that money because it's too much in play.
It's too much to make, too.
You're not talking to Microsoft and telling them anything.
Because the government looks at it, if it's not us, then it's going to be somebody else.
Right. But when it comes to these things, how else can you control it? So you could collapse the market, make it feel like, everybody's losing money. Because here's what's happening. So when people throw their money into their 401k, and the reason why people started getting panicking about inflation and all this other stuff, because they start seeing their 401ks, they were making money in their 401k, They was like, oh, my 401k was worth about $50,000. Now it's worth like $150,000. My 401k is straight. I could retire next year. Everything's good. Then all of a sudden, the stock started to correct. Now the 401ks is going down. Oh, now it's getting back to where it was. And now everybody's like, what do I do? I only have $50,000. That's what you started off with.
But my thing is...
That's what you're supposed to be.
But my question, especially because you just said something right there, because when the pandemic happened, a lot of people cashed in their 401ks.
Right.
Would they do anything to get it back?
They're stuck. Or you got to reinvest.
So basically, you got to rebuild it.
If you took your 401k at that time, what you should have done was reinvest. And especially you should have reinvested probably earlier than now. But now, because the market's correcting, you're going to have to wait to invest.
Wait a minute. So what you're saying is this was a whole ploy to get people to spend money?
What they did was they got everybody in there to force them to spend money. So when they raised everything up, so now that gas went from $4 to $6, and they know that people need gas to do everything.
Wait. So what I'm trying to sorry to cut you off. So I'm trying to say is they're trying to force people to tap into their savings.
Yes. Because
that's the goal.
So you want to know the goal is? What's always been the goal? What's been the goal of the government? Y'all really want to go here? We got a little bit of time. I got some time for you.
Please.
Y'all really want to go here?
Take us.
The goal of the government has and always been, especially in the U.S., government reliance. We are a capitalist. You got to understand, we are a capitalist country. One of many, by the way, but we're the ones that everybody look towards as far as like capitalism. What makes us work versus Canada and Canada's doing great, by the way, but versus a Canada. No. But what makes them tick is that everything in Canada is unilateral. You cannot make over a certain threshold over there. Why do you think your Canada artists record out here? Why do you think all your Canada artists try to get their recording contracts in the U.S.?
You was concerned about. Hold on, not to cut you off. You was concerned about something. What you was gonna say?
Oh no, just Canada is currently being oppressed by its leader.
Right, because you want to know why? Because they have.
He is literally trying to take away all their guns. It's not looking good over there.
Right, because you want to know why? Because they already.
Recently, I'm sorry to cut you off, but recently there was a bunch of Canadians on the border with an upside down Canadian flag as a sign of distress for help from the U.S.
Right,
it's not looking good over there.
Because you want to know why? Because what they're doing is control. See, Canada already have currently a form of control because they already have a socialist country.
Well, I mean, when your president's Castro's bastard, yeah.
Well, no, but they're all even. Their money's even.
Huh?
What's his name?
I forget his name, but he's the bastard of Fidel Castro.
Yeah, but their money. See, they make their money evenly. There's not too many people who make like a buttload of money over there. They don't. Everybody makes the same amount of money no matter what job you do. You could be a doctor, and you could be a person who works at a Target. And you're not going to be that far apart when it comes to money. But here's the trade-off.
Well, that takes away incentive.
Yeah, but you get free medical. You get a whole bunch of stuff that you get on free because of the government.
Well, don't they pay through insane taxes?
Yeah, but see, that's what Dr. said. That's government control. They control the narrative. But when you're in a capitalist country where any single person could be making peanuts,
it's a free
or you could be a multimillionaire. You can only do that in certain countries. We're so happen to be one of them. So how do you control it? You get the bottom people who's not making that much money to price them out. So how do you price them out?
So what you're saying is erase the middle class?
No, you try to raise you erase the bottom.
So erase the.
I mean, you can erase the middleman.
You're not erasing the middle class,
but they'll bounce back quick.
You're making your middle class the bottom.
You're trying to lower it.
So you're basically people who you would consider like the low class, like Hold
on. So I'm gonna use this as a different example. So, say for instance, like the Cerritos, you got we already know right now there's expensive shit, but as certain people can keep pushing over there. Versus now you come into the Compton, Long Beach, or Watts, they raise certain things. Most motherfuckers can't say, "Man, I can't do it." Right. So government said, "Okay, now we know this city can't do it. Let's tax them. Let's put more pressure on them." So they make it expensive for us to say, "Okay, you're gonna be paying this much money on your gas." Or this is how much your rent gonna be, or this is how, because they already know the struggle is.
So they put pressure.
Versus now you at a high maintenance
because
city.
they want you to make tough decisions.
Yeah.
So the decision may be: do I eat food this day, or do I get gas so I can go to work? You understand those are the real tough. That's the real tough decision that you have to make, because when you price everything up, so you may think that, well, food is this amount. So I'll use chicken as a perfect example. So 6 months ago.
Okay.
No. I got you. We gonna go. So chicken 6 months ago. Wow. If you bought some drumsticks of chicken, they were $4. Maybe $3.50 if you get your luck. But let's say $4 for an example. 6 months later, because of the move of inflation, and they'll tell you that they can't get it out fast enough. Whatever story they want to tell you. Yeah, and here's the thing: they may very well be shortages. We're not discounting any of that, because just because we're dealing with it in California doesn't mean it's not affecting people in the Midwest. It's the same conversation piece, by the way.
Never heard said that though.
Right, but that same chicken that you're buying, it goes from $4 to $7 or $8. You're basically paying double in a 6 month span, and so people don't understand this wasn't a gradual. Well, it went from 4 to 450 to 5 to 550.
No, it was a straight shoot up.
It was one of those. It went from 4 to 8. So now you're making tough household decisions.
So tell me this: when do you think there's going to be an equilibrium, or is it just going to keep getting worse?
They're gonna keep pressing, because they know that they could. Here's the thing: they know that they could get the money. Companies, grocery stores, people, they know that they could get the money. Certain things that they know that food is a necessity. You have to have it. So they're going to keep pushing the envelope. This is what inflation has always been. Mm-hmm. Now, where does this money go? Sometimes, in certain instances, in certain businesses, that turns around to the people who's actually working in said company. Because if you see kind of where the job market was a year ago, certain people, minimum wage was like $10 bucks. You went from 10 to 15 in a matter of a year or 2 years. That's a pretty big jump too. These companies have to keep up with that.
Well, I remember that there was a whole discussion on it about the news when they were discussing the increase of minimum wage, and they said that one of the side effects will be, well, if we increase minimum wage, everything else is going to be increased. Therefore, there was no real increase at all. You're going to make more money and you're going to spend more money. So it's the illusion of making more.
Right. So it's the illusion of making more, knowing that they were going to move this up. So the people who are working in said companies, they're getting a little bit of the kickback. But the trade-off is you're throwing it back into said company 9 times out of 10. Because that's where you got to put your money towards. Because you can't take your money and go to another place and spend it where they're going to be higher than what you are. Or you don't get the discount because if you get a discount where you work at, you're going to opposite though where you're going to be able to get the best value for your money. People are still money conscious. They know that. And companies know that. And the government knows that. So the government taxes the companies. Companies say, we're going to move up the prices and do this. That's how this works. So who does it affect? It affects the bottom. Because if you're at the bottom and you're making minimum wage, these are very tough conversations you have to have. Because you see I see the trade-off every single day when I walk into the job. You want to know how I see the trade-off? People are sitting there like, dude, I gotta eat. I gotta spend $1.50, $2.50, because it ain't $1.50, it ain't even $1. $2.50 on 2 things, a cup of noodles and a Red Bull. And that's their food for not just them at work. That's their food for 2/3 of the day.
Dude, like,
I'm gonna be dead honest with you, and I see it all the time.
I'd be walking down the aisles. You'll see stuff that was put back.
Yes.
Like, obviously, like it's from another aisle, but they decided to get something either cheaper, or they decided they couldn't afford it, and they put it back. I notice this a lot more now. It used to be, not that common, but you go down aisles, you're gonna notice a lot of stuff from every other aisle that people are just deciding to put back.
Right.
And you notice a lot of the times ramen is gone.
A lot of the cheaper foods, because people are making tough decisions. Even at work, even when you're making the money, you're still making a tough decision. Because that's what it's come down to. Because you're like, dude, I gotta
have a burger, or do I want to eat on just
right.
sandwich?
And so when you go to a burger place, now keep in mind when you go to a burger place, think about them. So shout out to Paul's place. You know, I still like y'all food, but I think y'all did the same type of thing. Y'all had a cheeseburger meal that was $10. Y'all all of a sudden flipped that same cheeseburger meal to $15.
That's just like when I went to Towns the other day. That chicken wing special, it used to be $10.
Yes.
Now it jumped up to $17.50.
Exactly. It's a lot.
A lot.
So now you got to make a tough
So
decision.
now I'm like, man, am I gonna eat this for this much, or am I just come home to make a sandwich?
Exactly. Or do I try to cook food, manufacture, you know, do something to make that money work? So now you're making very tough decisions where you really didn't have to.
And that goes to the conversation me and you had earlier about how you manage your money.
You gotta be very conscious of managing your money, especially in a time like this. Now, to answer your question, will it correct itself? The answer is no. They're going to keep pushing because they know that they can. They know that they can. Companies know that they could push. Government knows that they could push. This is why when they say that, oh, we're going to put a tax break on the gas, President says, we're going to give you a tax break on the gas for a period of time.
Yeah,
just to give people relief. Okay. But for how long? So we're talking 2 weeks of gas that's going to be 20 cents less, because that's basically what the taxing would be against the gas. It's about 20 cents less per gallon, roughly. So instead of paying, like in most people cases, they're paying $6.49, you're paying $6 for your premium gas. It's something, but it's not sustainable. It's not to where you were at like $5 a gallon or even $4. Keep in mind. Keep in mind, when we were in pandemic mode, gas was as low as $3 a month. So you have people in the mindset of, oh, well, it's $3, it's going to probably go up to $4 like it was. No, it went from like 3.5 to 6.5, almost 7. They basically doubled on you because everybody's trying to re-up.
The funny thing, like how you just said about that, because yesterday I filled up my tank. I put like $55 in there. It barely made it to the needle,
right,
full.
Right.
And just by one day, now I'm at a half a tank.
Right, because you still got, keep in mind, you're still doing the same amount of driving.
Yeah.
You're making very tough decisions now, because you got to figure out what is it going to take to withstand this. This is why, when people are investing, and this is why I said right now is even a bad time to invest, because the market is down spending right now. So it's even a bad time to invest because you don't know when it's going to stop and start to springboard a little bit. So you got to either be picky and choosy about your stocks right now, because investing in stocks right now while it's down spending is a terrible idea, because they're down spending. It will get back up. Stocks will correct itself for a period of time, but right now they're bad. And when the stocks are bad, everybody's bad. And that's why when you see certain companies when they're doing well, you know when they're doing well. Like when Elon Musk said, I'm buying Twitter and we're gonna hold it down. Of course, he got the bag right now.
Yeah.
Of course, Walmart got the bag. They're talking about buying a football team. They got the red at the top.
I heard about that.
That's a fact.
But see, even with that, that's why I said when all that stuff happened, okay, we're gonna go up on minimum wage. We'll pay these people.
But see, people, all they heard was what's in it for me. They did not think about residual.
Well, that's just a lot of things. People are short-sighted.
Yep.
Very short-sighted.
Yep. Because they don't understand the residual effect. The residual effect of people getting $15 minimum to work at McDonald's, and they still can't find people to work there. It's a $15 job minimum. They're probably paying them up to $17 an hour just to go scoop some fries. And they still can't find a job there.
It's not because people just don't want to work. They're so used to getting handouts.
My daughter works at Knott's right now. She's making 17 at Knott's, and all she does is just hang out and host, and she makes 17.
That's good.
No, it's great from that perspective, but in the same conversation piece, how is Knott's making that up? Ticket prices their ticket prices are fine, but look at Disney's prices.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Remember, Knott's took away the free meal pass. Remember
that? Yeah, they took that away. They're gonna bring it back though. I do know that.
Oh shit! Never mind.
Yeah, they're gonna bring it back. They're just redoing.
Well, no, it's not free. It's now discount.
Yeah.
But still, the point is,
but you want to know why they did that? Because during the time, people would pull up into Knott's. Literally, they would have the food pass. They would pull up there just to get a meal. So, like, people who would work, like smart people, and this was like a genius idea, by the way. You buy the food pass. You go to Knott's. You don't have to ride no ride to do anything. You just pull up. Oh,
no, all the restaurants on the outside.
I'm gonna go up in there. Even if you walk into the park, I'm gonna go up in there. Go grab me a plate of food. Go get me some ribs, or go get me a taco meal, whatever, and dip. And people would do that because they're paying for it. People will pull up every day.
Yeah, no, you literally got 3 square meals a day.
I mean, you could at least get 2 solid meals for an extra $15 a month? And you're getting, so if you think about it, $15 a month, and you could go into a place every day and get yourself 2 meals. You could go in the morning, get your hand stabbed, come back in at night, go get yourself another plate, and get up out of there.
Shit was killer.
It was a genius idea. Yeah. And people and the ill thing about it was, nobody picked up on it. A lot of people had the meal plans, and nobody did that. But there was certain people who were starting to do that, and they started to figure it out. Because you're literally getting meals of food.
One of those plates of food would cost way more than $15.
One plate of food is $15. One time. And you're getting that every day for a month. I would pull up every day and do that.
Shit, I'm getting hungry.
It was just, the whole thing is you would just, because literally if you get the parking pass, you got the pass, that would, if you paid it on a monthly thing, maybe it's like composite of like $30 a month. But you get parking, you get entertainment, you get food. All day. Every day.
That's a deal.
Even if the park wasn't open every day, at least for the portions that it was open, you can always pull up and you can at least get yourself some entertainment, go watch yourself a show, get yourself some food, go hang out, you're in the open air, talk to some people, and get up out of there. Why wouldn't you? People started to catch up, by the way. But that's money management. Yeah. That's like one of the smart, like when I saw somebody, that was like, that was one of the smartest things ever. I saw people, when I was working at Knott's, I saw people who would pull up there just to do their homework.
I seen that happen.
All the time. They'll sit up there, they'll be sitting at the tables, they got their laptop out, they literally hanging out doing their homework like on the regular, because they got the food pass, get the food, get the drink pass, get the drink, sitting there, 4 hours in the box, they're just doing their homework. Yeah, it's like you hear the roller coaster and stuff going on, you throw some earbuds on, you straight. Ain't nobody telling them nothing.
No.
Why?
Because in the eyes of not, they're a paying customer.
They're a paying customer, they already paid for it. As long as they're not doing nothing disruptive, they're straight. As long as they're not like on their computer trying to tap into their computers, they're straight.
Real quick, a little off topic. What's your favorite ride from that place anyway?
Oh, from Knott's?
Wow.
We're talking about it.
No. Knott's right now.
Be honest.
You know the ride it took away. My favorite ride and they took it out was Boomerang. That was my ride. Boomerang was dope.
What about you?
For me,
But
Supreme Scream.
Supreme Scream, but Jaguar's dope too though. Jaguar was dope. Accelerator was cool, but it's really too short. But
and Montezuma Revenge.
Montezuma was always classic, but that's why I like Boomerang, because basically Boomerang was like the double loop version of Montezuma's Revenge, because you'll go up, loop, then you go to the top, and then they'll throw it in reverse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember Supreme Scream was really good.
Supreme Scream.
One of my more favorite ones, even though it's more of an arcade than a ride, I really liked. It's recent. Was Iron Reef.
Iron Reef is dope, but they switched it.
Yeah, I know it's not there anymore. I'm very sad.
No, they took out Iron Reef and went classic and put in Berry Tales.
I know, but Iron Reef was fucking awesome.
Iron Reef was fun because you could get the gun. It was like an arcade.
That shit was dope. You turn it to the side. I swear to God, you're more accurate.
Yeah, that was fun. Iron Reef was dope. But they took that out only because they wanted to match up, and because I knew that they knew Disney was doing their Star Wars theme, so they wanted to go backwards and do something that classic. So
it's the pursuit of uniqueness.
Yeah, so Berry Tales was unique. You know what they need to build? And I thought they were going to do it, and I think they decided against it. You know, because I think they were going to take down. They're going to take down Accelerator for a period of time. They decided to keep it, but when they were going to take down Accelerator, they were going to bring back the Wacky Soapbox Racers. Y'all may be too young for that.
Yeah,
Wacky Soapbox Racers was 4 tracks in one ride, and you basically were like dips and spins and all this stuff.
Wait,
And-
so for a comparison, is it kind of like the Cars ride from Disneyland, where you're kind of racing against other people while you're on a ride?
Yes, but but each cart, it was like five in these little wagon carts, and they will start them off at the same time, and they will basically race to see which one would be first in the race. It was pretty dope. That was like old school.
Well, that sounds dope as hell.
Yeah, it was dope. I was so mad when they took that away because I was like, that was the funnest ride at the park for a long time.
Damn. You good? You
I'm
good?
good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Just
No, he's
fighting
straight.
sleep.
He's
Fighting
straight.
sleep, I'm good.
Just fighting the good fight, people.
But that's when it comes to like stuff like that, it's
Well, I'll say this. This episode, we went in a lot of directions and we talked about multiple different things. Some serious, some not so serious, some entertaining, and some thought-provoking. I hope you walked away from this episode thinking about one of the things we said at least, whether it was the topic about religion or the topic about finances or our views of the government or even just the Knott's Berry Farm thing we talked about. I always hope that everyone walks away from one of our episodes of the PVC Crew Podcast thinking about what we talked about, and of course, I always hope you engage in the comments. It's very important that you comment because it lets us know how we're doing. Your voice is very important to us. Well, your text are, but you understand.
On that topic, except when Cam jumping over the car, he thought it was a gunshot. I thought that was hilarious. That was great. That was funny.
Facts.
I thought we were gonna have to get you tissue.
Because they had me in tears.
It was facts.
But like my boy Vic said, it's God above all and stuff like that, and we do appreciate all the feedbacks and likes and comments. So if you please hit that subscribe button, and for all the topics, times are hard right now, so don't feel like everything's gonna get up. Just keep pushing and keep grinding and keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully for sakes everything get better for everybody.
Keep faith.
Yep.
So much love and respect, and keep faith too. Yeah, that is true.
Keep the faith. That's first and foremost.
Nerd boy.
First and foremost, keep the faith. Secondly, we didn't get a chance to talk about the Microsoft Bethesda conference, but we were supposed to double back and get there. But we'll talk about that on the next.
Oh,
one.
there's gonna be more details.
Don't worry.
We're gonna have a full episode on that one.
Don't worry. We're gonna talk.
I got
about
some
that.
questions on that.
Because we just don't have enough time, but we're gonna get there. What else? Few things. First of all, prayers go out to the family of the young lady who passed away with the lightning bolt. First and foremost, prayers out to their family.
Quick on that. When I was watching the news on that, it was honestly a little fucked up. Where they were talking about it, and one of the news anchors kind of went like, "Well, it was instant at least." Because they said it kind of nonchalantly, and I was like, "It was kind of fucked up."
They were also
wow.
Because they wasn't prepared for anything like that.
Yeah.
Because nobody's ever dealt with that.
Something like that,
Exactly.
How often you hear a story about somebody getting struck by lightning?
Yeah, you know how much of a randomness that is. You almost have a better chance of hitting the lottery
But
than
and
you
too,
do to get hit by
think
lightning.
about the person who covers the story. Had to cover the story.
Right. It's like I said.
I don't even what. Just imagine being the one that came across the body.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
But yeah,
But first and foremost, prayers go out to them. One of the things I will say is just be conscious of everything that's going on around you. I will say that. Be conscious of your peoples around you.
don't
of
keep
course.
your head in the sand.
Exactly. Just be aware. You never know.
Be aware. Don't be paranoid.
One of the things I will tell you that if you ever thought about, getting to the point where you want to start owning some stuff, this is probably the conversation piece that we probably got to start getting into when it comes to transitioning from just having money to being able to own some stuff, not necessarily renting, which that means owning property, owning your car, owning certain things. You're going to have to get into ownership because when you own your own stuff, that takes away the reliance of others' help, others' money, others, you want to be able to get to the position where you
Ownership is independence.
Yes, you got to get to the point where you got to start owning some stuff, and that may start off something small. Maybe that's in the instance of this, owning your car, for example. Getting to the point where your car's paid off and you own that stuff. we'll tell you, you need to start owning your time. You know, executing like how you handle your time, what you're doing with your time, investing your time the right way, and all this stuff.
Because
you need to start owning that.
Because what you can do with just 1 hour out of the day, it's pretty staggering.
Exactly. I mean, you know, like when I prepare for the podcast, like, you know, a lot of times I am, you know, literally studying topics and going through all kinds of things, and I'm gonna kick around, you know. So we're investing into the podcast as well, learning how to get better, learning how to communicate better. Of course, you know, that is what we do as PVC Podcast Crew. So I always say, get into the point where you start owning your time. And then you start being able to get to the position where you start owning certain things. You want to get to the position where you're independent and you're not relying upon somebody else funding you to do a said job. You want to be able to do your own job. You want to be your own boss. You want to call your shots. You want to have people who's working for you. You want to be the brand. You know, so you got to get to the point of thinking like that. One of the things that, you know, I learned from people throughout the years is that, you know, whether they're on Twitch or YouTube, whatever it may be, is that they went to the point where we're going to be owners of our time and owners of our, you know, our job and all this stuff. And they're making a good bag doing it. So salute to everybody, every person out there who's on the grind, you know, trying to find ways to, you know, create their ownership. So I would definitely say do that. Finally, with anything, just, you know, have fun. Do something to have fun. Don't let all the craziness about the government, about money, you know, do something that's going to be fun, exciting, you know, branch out. We told you this before. Go do something. Go travel. Go do something. Go do something. go do something. Go have some fun. Don't let this weigh you down.
Laugh. Have a good laugh.
Understand
Dude,
that.
this is the best laugh I have, man.
You were actually jumping up and down.
With you and then Cam and his story.
I'm so glad you got it on footage.
Wow. I know.
That was great.
I haven't had a chance to tell that story in a while in that way, so I want
great
to
story. I'm glad you shared it.
Oh yeah,
I want the thumbnail to be that picture of you almost crying. That's what
I was hilarious.
Shout out to my band Lino, the rest of the Cross Culture crew. Shout out to them. That's my squaddies out there. They've been holding things down. So besides that,
we'll meet one day.
Oh yeah, my boy Lino said we want to come through. We want to do a cross culture episode where we want to be able to talk about what we did in music and all that stuff. So
obviously, if you want to see that, please stick around.
Yeah, and y'all know how we do it. And before I leave, you know, shout out to my little chickadees out there doing their thing. And like I told you, my daughter, she's working right now. She's doing her thing. And my son, he's overseas right now, trying to hold things down overseas. I can't tell you where he is, but he's doing his thing. And shout outs to our family as well. 'Cause I know our family been doing a lot to be in support of all of us and what we're doing here. So shout out to y'all families, of course. Shout out to my mom and my sister and all them, of course.
Love you, mom.
Outside of that, you know, we gonna do what we do. This is episode 24. Was it 24? 24-4. We tipping on fofos. I forgot about that. Y'all know what to do. I forgot to say that at the gate, but I'm gonna definitely say it on the exit. If you do like what we do, please consider liking, subscribing to the page. That's how we keep the algorithm going. Tell your friends about us. And shout out to the people who's been in support of us so far. I've been getting a lot of comments on my Instagram and on a couple other pages, and everybody's like showing their love and support. So appreciate all of y'all.
Thank you guys.
And like I said, we're gonna be debuting our logo once it gets finalized up. We'll debut our new logo, which is coming up soon. Shout out to our people's working on that. And we got some other things cooking in the basket. But in the meantime, we gotta get up out of here. Y'all know who we are. From my man Paul, from my man Vic. My name is Cam, aka Nerd Boy Fresh. We are the PVC Podcast Crew, and this has been episode 24-4, laying pipe with the PVC Crew. And you know how we do. Like always, it is God above everything. Until the next time, family, we will do this again soon.
Much love and respect.
Salute.